Imagine the universe, a small planet. On this planet, a tiny country. In this country, millions and millions of people, one of them, me. Who am I with all my dreams? A UN peace soldier in the Sudan once gave me the most beautiful definition of a dream. He said a real dream is the same for anybody on this planet. Doesn't matter if you're a millionaire or a homeless person. A real dream is something which hovers on your horizon. And you know that if you try really hard, stay persistent, find help, get lucky, keep your sense of humor, that maybe, this one dream you have is possible. So he said, a real dream challenges you to become the best version of yourself. As an actress, age 24, I created an adventure story about dreams, a journey of a girl on a tractor. A journey to the end of the world and back. And I thought, what is the end of the world? I thought, if I were a child, I would say the end of the world, that's the South Pole. That sounds like going to the moon on a tractor, but maybe it is possible. As an adult, I immediately thought, the end of the world is a famine area, a country torn by war, a place where people lose hope. That's the end of the world. Both voices inside me said, go. What if I get on a tractor, start traveling from the Netherlands all the way down to the South Pole? I'll probably come through many places, which as an adult you could call the end of the world. And I thought, I'll get on this tractor with an open mind, my curiosity, the way children still have it, and which is something so worthwhile to keep while growing up. I'll get on this tractor and start traveling all the way to the end of the world, the South Pole, and on my way I will look for inspiring people, stories, initiatives that somehow prove that the end of the world doesn't exist, because we can always find somebody who doesn't give up hope, who keeps trying, and this way inspires others. If there's one story I want to tell, I hope to tell it's this story. And maybe I shouldn't act it out in theater. Maybe I should just do it. When I told my grandmother about my plan, she said, "This, I'll not survive, I'll die." Before I started planning this seemingly impossible adventure story, everybody I spoke to about my plans confronted me with my own and their biggest fears. Even a taxi driver on a casual Friday afternoon, when I told him about my plans, described to me in great detail how I would be lured, abused, and raped if I would put this story into reality. But I know about reality. When I was 18 years old, I was raped. So I know. But if you live, you can't lock yourself up in your house, close yourself down from living your life because of fear. Even my grandmother eventually realized whatever you do to be safe, you can also be run over by a tram in Amsterdam. I learned that when you start preparing your dream's realization, it is important to find people who know from experience about reality. And just know that in the real world, the positive feedback you may seek most likely will only come when your dream is in the process of being realized, not before. June 2005, I drove my tractor to the island of Terschelling. There I played the theater performance I had created for this journey. A theater performance as a present to give to the people I would meet while traveling. With this performance, I could communicate about dreaming and doing. In this performance, I invited people to write down their dreams, their wishes, on small pieces of paper. These dreams would travel with me on the back of my tractor, all the way to the end of the world, the South Pole. The last day of the International Theatre Festival Oerol on the island of Terschelling, I literally drove out of the theatre performance into reality and started my journey. Day 2 out of Holland. By accident, I drove onto the highway around Antwerp. The highway sign was covered with orange plastics. Cars started overtaking me with 120 kilometers per hour. My 30-year-old tractor had a maximum speed of 20 kilometers per hour. I felt like a demented old farmer taking the wrong turn. Right before the exit sign, the highway police caught me and I was taken into custody. For 2.5 weeks, I was stuck in Belgium. From Canada, New Zealand, Germany, Holland, France, camera crews came by, radio stations phoned, photographers came. They all wanted to hear this joke of a Dutch girl wanting to go to the South Pole on a tractor, but getting stuck in Belgium. I finally managed to overcome bureaucracy, got myself some number plates along the line, and continued my journey. And I thought, if this is the beginning of my adventure, then what lies ahead of me? In the Balkans, former Yugoslavia, I was confronted with the harsh reality of life on our planet. With people living in a post-war country, how would they react to this happy tractor girl talking about dreams? I arrived in a country anyone could easily go on holiday to. Mountains rising from the sea, lovely villages, smiling people at the side of the road. When I looked closer, I saw remnants of the war. Buildings that hadn't been renovated, were all filled with gun holes, memories, documents to the war. Under the surface, there were many stories, and people were eager to share them. I was invited by the War Child organization to play my theater performance on various locations. One of them, a youth prison in Kosovo, with youngsters that had committed crimes during the war, but that were also victims of that same war. The prison guards prepared me for a rough ride, and I had to play my theater performance in a high-security setting. But while playing, these youngsters and their guards seemed to understand the necessity. Something about this story. When I started collecting their dreams, it fell completely silent. During the years that followed, while traveling, I kept hearing from the prison director, a strong woman, the questions from her prisoners. Where is the tractor girl now? What adventures has she been through? Are our dreams still traveling with her? Has she made it to the South Pole? I can tell you thousands of stories. I've traveled for 3 years and 8 months, over 38,000 kilometers through 22 countries with a maximum speed of 20 kilometers per hour. And I've always been safe. Not a mango was stolen from my tractor. And my openness ignited a friendly response, a curiosity, a beautiful contact with the world around me. Today, I believe that if you travel through life, through the world, with an open mind, giving respect to people, which you may always ask them to return the favor, you can truly travel to the end of the world and back and be safe. The day I arrived in Cape Town was the most beautiful day of my life. The tractor girl was escorted by police cars and Harley Davidsons, and again, I did something wrong. I took the wrong turn, followed the wrong car, and suddenly I found myself on a Hollywood film set, ruining their shot. A big American Michael Moore-like film director came fiercely walking towards me, hands in the air, and I thought, will this be the very first time someone is going to seriously shout at me? Hands in the air, he yelled at me, "Wonderful! Marvelous! Have you already sold your film rights? Come here, sit down. You want a cup of coffee?" A friendly response. Just like the hookers in the red light districts in Amsterdam, the secret police in the Sudan, the people in the street talking about peace. Wangari Maathai, the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. The pregnant woman who nearly had her baby on my tractor. The soldiers in the famine of northern Kenya. the people who gave me a jump start over the equator. The rats that can detect mines and TB, the Antarctic mechanic who gave me the coordinates of a safe GPS route all the way to the South Pole and who promised me, if need be, I'll pull you the last little stretch. The Ethiopian girl who, without any means and with a lot of inventiveness, set up this project helping so many street kids in her area. The Hunger Project in Malawi, who proved that if you get people to work together towards their dreams, they can truly be empowered to build up their own lives away from poverty. I arrived on the Cape of Good Hope with thousands of dreams in the back of my tractor. Right now, I'm in the process of realizing the final leg of this story, a South Pole expedition by tractor. I have 4 years of film material and beautiful stories that deserve to be told. My aim is to create a children's book-like ending to this beautiful adventure story, to build a snowman on the South Pole with the dreams of the world in his belly. My wish is that this story will travel back into the world. These stories will travel back into the world, and if there's one person in this room inspired to believe their dream has a chance, their hope for life, for the world, has a chance in succeeding, then this story is worthwhile. If a girl can drive a tractor all the way to the South Pole and be safe, then also your dream can be possible. Life is an adventure. Do it.